What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm here with Yash Agarwal yet again. You saw Yash walk me through Kayazala, and today Yash is back and he's going to show us my first time, probably your first time out there to check out Power Virtual Agents. Yash, welcome back, man. How are you doing?
Hey, John. I'm just glad to be back again on the channel and I'm doing good. Today's session will talk about how we can create a small, simple customer management tool using Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, and Sharepoint.
Okay.
And we'll just build a low-code, no-code solution without writing a single line of code.
Okay. All right. Awesome. That sounds good, man. So, for those of you that don't know Yash, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to him. He's going to do a bit of introduction on himself, and then he has some slides on what we're looking at today. So, Yash, sir, the floor is yours.
All right. So, as I was talking about today, we'll see how we can invoke flows created on Power Automate in Power Virtual Agents, create a nice, simple, sleeky bot, and through that we can, handle incoming customer requests, show them what the status of their current request was, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And a small introduction on myself. I'm a software developer working with Applied IS, and I still am the Microsoft Flownaut and Astronaut on the community forums and a super user over there. So just drop off any questions and tag me over there so that I can, look at those.
Yes,
And
he's serious too. If you need help in the Flow community, Yash has 1,000 solutions between both communities now. So if you need help, definitely tag him. He's got tons of knowledge and is always happy to share.
yep. So a little walkover about what we'll look at. So we'll create a small bot with Power Virtual Agents. Then we'll create some flows that on Power Automate that will invoke in a Power Virtual Agent. And we'll use a SharePoint online list as our database to store all the data that we're getting from our customer. And we'll keep accessing that and, create a sleek, nice
Awesome.
solution.
Nice
Yeah.
and easy.
Yeah. So let's get there. First, this is our SharePoint list. A little schema over here. The title field will hold the customer name, and we have a customer email field. Then we have a customer concern field. Then finally, we have a request status that will show to the customer that what is the current status of the request. And now we'll go to the Power Virtual Agent. So I already created a bot, and because it kind of takes a little time to when you create and provision it. So I just created this beforehand. And once you create a bot, so ensure and check the environment that you're using to create this bot. Now, all you have to do is we'll just go ahead and start customizing the greeting. We want to trigger the bot when somebody says a hi or a hello. So we'll just directly go that way.
Yeah, so you guys saw that little bot button he clicked in the top right corner. If you want to provision a bot, you would do it there. You click that little bot and hit new bot, and then you can go.
Yeah. So here we have a few introductory messages. So whenever someone says hi, these are the first introductory messages that the customer will see. So what I'll do is we have these informations, and I'll just add another one over here to ask or to provide the customer with a few choices of what they want to do. And let's ask a question. All right, maybe we'll just remove this action.
Yeah. You got to customize it.
A bit. Let's put the same way, and we have a multiple choice options question here. Okay. So let's put the first one as create a new request. We'll have the second one as track a request.
Ooh, look at that. I like how it just puts the condition out there for you. It starts branching.
Yep. And then we'll have one end conversation so that just get out of here.
Cool.
Yeah. I'll just kind of minimize this for now. We'll come back to the testing part later on so that we can see the entire canvas. And so whatever option the customer or the person chooses over here, it'll be saved as this variable response. And on the variable, then we are applying a condition to check what the condition is. So if it's create a new request, we want to follow this path. If it's a track request, then we want to follow this one. And for an end conversation, we'll just have the other path over here.
All right, I'm with you.
Yeah. And when someone wants to create a new request, we would want to get some information from them. So we'll ask another question. We'll ask them to enter the name first. And this would be of the user's entire response for now. We'll take the entire string. And then we'll ask another question, which is the user's email address. So here we already have an email format that we can request. So it is extracted as a string, but it will do an initial level of validation for you.
Perfect.
And lastly, we want to ask what their concern is.
And this is pretty easy, like to build out a bunch of dialogues.
Yeah, exactly. Just kind of put together all the permutations and combinations that a person might have for a particular process, and then you can start building paths for that and have all those conditions. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that we have all these questions asked, so we will invoke a flow, and then we will pass this information into the flow, and then use the Power Automate platform to connect to the other connectors like Sharepoint, create a new item over there with the customer information, send an email, and then get a response here that their request has been registered.
Awesome.
So we'll just go ahead and create the flow. But before that, let's also create a path for this one, for the tracker request part. So for tracker request, what we would need is just a request ID from the customer. So we'll ask that question here. And we want it to be a string. So the entire user response. That's it. And then we'll have another action that will invoke a flow from Power Automate, and then we'll get the status of the ticket and display it to the customer. And then for this one, we'll just end it, but I'll do that for all the 3 branches at a time. So let's go ahead and create some new flows on the Power Automate platform now.
All right.
Yeah, just
my
that
favorite part.
Yeah, exactly. when we are creating a flow that needs to be invoked as an action in a Power Virtual Agent, we need to ensure that we have the same environment selected over here, and the flows need to be a part of a solution. So we'll just see that, okay, we have the default environment selected here, and let's ensure that this bot exists in the default environment again.
Okay, so that's two very important pieces to make sure you pay attention to. One, make sure you're in the same environment. Now that's usually the same for apps and flows. Same here for virtual agents. Make sure you're building your things in the same environment if you want them to connect. But secondly, you need to actually build your flows for the virtual agent in the context of a solution. So if you don't have solutions, go ahead and get a premium license, get a trial, get yourself access so that you can go ahead and use solutions. Otherwise, you won't be able to connect flows to virtual agents.
Yep. And so we'll create a new solution for our flows.
Clever naming there.
Yeah, flow solution. And it's an initial version, so let's just put this.
All right.
All right, so here is our solution. And we'll create a new flow over here now. So a flow which is invoked in a virtual agent is done through an HTTP request. So it triggers this webhook. So we will do when an HTTP request is received, trigger for this flow.
Okay.
And here we'll have to create a JSON schema requesting certain information that we will use in this flow. And that will be just creating a quick schema over here by providing sample data. So
I love it. I always love doing a video with you, watching you build JSON from scratch. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't want to mess up the schema only to realize that, it's not working on the flow properly.
I love it.
So initially, we'll have just 3 keys that are coming in. All of those are of form string. So we'll just provide this, and it will generate the schema for us.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now we'll have a step to create an item in our SharePoint list.
There you go. So his SharePoint site didn't resolve. So notice he's going to click custom value and then paste it in. Don't just paste it in the blank. Make sure that you click enter custom value, then paste it.
And then we have this list name here. We'll provide all the details that we got from our customer, which was the name in the title, the customer email, and whatever the concern they pointed out. And we have a default status value that we will say that the complaint or the concern has been registered with us. We'll create a new step to send an email to the customer that with more details and all that. So we are creating a customer request ID over here, which is basically a string concatenated with the ID of the SharePoint item.
Okay. So now this way they can all individually track their issues.
Yep.
Nice.
So this is the send an email action here.
Yep.
Now we want to show the customer that the request has been registered. So we'll end the flow with a response action. And here we'll have another key. And we want to again create the schema over here. So this will finally complete and send this response to the bot saying that, providing all the output that we pass from the flow over here.
Yep. Okay. I'm with you. This is cool.
So we'll just save this now.
Didn't name it, so it has a great, clever name.
Yeah. So we'll name it create a new request.
There you go. There you go. All right.
Yep. And now we'll come here and add it as an action.
Oh, I like this. Call an action.
Yeah. So the platform keeps changing every day. They keep adding new features, and now you can actually create a flow directly from here. Just press the button.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll choose our action, and here it expects three variables, the three keys that we were passing. So we'll first provide with our name, which was variable number 2, and then email, which was variable 3, and then the concern, which was variable 4.
Nice.
And finally, we will show a message, which will be our response, which is an output of our flow action.
Yeah. Wow. Look at this. Man, I like this. They're really bringing this platform together. Like the way that this is all plugging and playing together like this is really neat.
Yep. And finally, we want to end the conversation as end with survey.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is so powerful. I can,
Yeah.
man, my mind's all over the place with possibilities here. So many organizations can do so many things with this.
Exactly, internal management processes and so many things, literally so many things.
Yeah, holy cow.
Yeah.
As Mr. Dang would say, holy moly.
Yeah. So this completes one particular branch. So similarly, we'll go ahead for the next one, which is getting the status of an already created request.
Okay.
So we'll come back to flow, or maybe the solution over here. We have our first flow. We'll add another one.
This will be the one where you can go to the second branch and request an ID already in progress.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
So we'll name it as get request. And again, we'll use the same trigger.
Yep.
Okay. So here, let's put as a request ID as REQ ID.
Okay.
And again, we'll get that as a text input, or in the form of a string, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. So it is expecting one input from the virtual agent, and we'll pass it to you get an item, a SharePoint list.
Yep. Is it going to find it this time? No.
Uh,
Interesting.
Maybe I just spun up this new environment, so it kind of is trying to take some time to
Got to make sure to click that enter custom value.
yeah. I mean, it's recognizing the list name then, so we're safe
Yeah.
here. And here we now want the unique identifier of the request ID. So
Yep.
you remember we had this expression, I mean, we had this concatenated string as req hyphen and then the ID.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we will get that using our function over here.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's cool.
So to explain this, we are first splitting this request ID on an hyphen, and then we are getting the last part of this split array, and then we are converting that to an integer because the ID of would be an integer over here for SharePoint.
I love it. Yeah, nice. Okay.
And then our next step would be to display this. So we'll add a response action and limit as response 2 over here, just so that we don't confuse with the first one.
Good job.
Yeah, so it's
Request
request
status.
status. Yeah. So we'll add the request status value over here to get the exact string that we want. And then here we'll again have to do the same thing so that the agent recognizes it. There you go.
I love it. Simple lessons in JSON.
Yeah. I mean, most of the errors wherever there's some JSON is involved happen due to the schema and some, some disturbance on the schema part itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we have saved this flow. We'll add it to our path in the virtual agent here.
Okay.
So you can see the get request now.
Love it. Man, this is so cool.
And you can see the information like it's expecting a input and then it will give you an output. So
Yeah.
the REQ ID will be our variable number 5. And again, we'll show a message, which is,
Response number 2.
yes, exactly.
Nice. Oh, this is so easy. This is the coolest thing. I love this.
Yep, and then end with survey.
Yes.
Similarly, we can have any number of paths. So just to end this over here, we'll just end this conversation with a survey or based on the requirement and the setup that you have, you could also transfer to an agent and add certain other set of features over here. So
Okay.
yeah, so
I think we can just end with a survey.
yep,
Nice.
simple and nice. Now we'll just save it.
Ooh, I'm excited. Now we get to see it in action, right?
Exactly, but there's one
All
other
right.
thing that I want to show you, which
Okay.
is a real good add-on over here from the
Okay.
virtual agent side. So
Yes.
we'll test our bot, enable track between topics, and then when
Oh,
we'll start, it will show us each step of how it is going. So
okay.
let's start with a hi. So you see these green paths, right? So these are the
Whoa.
actions that have been completed.
Yeah. Wow.
And now you can select between create a new request, track a request, and all that. So I'll just select this, create a new request. You could always go ahead and type as well.
Oh my
I'll
goodness, this is so cool.
yeah. So the first question was name, it registered that. The second one is email.
Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh. I am just like, I'm loving this. My heart is beating. This is so cool.
So I'll just say, can you replace my tap water? Some request over here.
Yeah, you come from Flint, Michigan. I need some new water.
Yeah. So as you can
Request
see here,
registered. Request one. Did that
REQ1.
REQ1? Yeah.
So
Did
this
that
one
answer your
is,
question? Like, yeah, sure, kinda. It did. I have a so we if we were getting real fancy, we would say request registered. Here is your tracking number, REQ1. Because then I would
REQ.
know, oh, okay, cool, good, I got that. Okay,
Yeah.
this is awesome. Okay, so now let's go look at the SharePoint list.
Before that.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
yeah, while you are doing this and with feedback, you can still have a set of options over here for the feedback as well. So did I answer your question? Yes. And if I didn't, then what you want to do again? Do you want to speak to an agent and all that? So there's a complete circle that you can build over here.
Wow. So then if they say no, you could do, let me send you to an agent. If you say yes, you could say, oh, great, here's your survey.
Yeah, you could add actions over here. After saying
Cool.
no, you could add more actions over here.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll just come to our SharePoint list and you can see, so name and email and all this is over here.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Now let's go back and reset this. And we have our REQ dash one as our request number. So we'll follow the second path now.
Okay.
So it's reset itself back. Now I will again say hi.
So cool.
I'm going to say to track a request. It'll say me REQ ID. So I'll say REQ dash one. And as you can see, the current status is registered.
Nice.
So
Nice. And
yeah,
then you could connect power apps to this where people in the field could be updating statuses. You could have all sorts of things going on so that when people come and check their status, there's information up to date all the time in the backend database. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Imagine this connected to a CDS instance or a Dynamics instance where all your customer data lives, where I, as a customer, could come and say, hey, I need the information on my latest three sales. What did I order? Or what. Oh my goodness, there's so many possibilities here.
yeah, and it also creates a kind of an interactive experience. So it's not just that you're sending emails and getting automated replies and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah,
you can build divergent paths over here to keep people coming back to your portal and interacting with the bot and doing all those kinds of stuff.
I love it. And so then this was so easy to make though. Just watching you do it, I feel like I mean the JSON is not something that everyone knows, but watching you do it makes it look pretty easy. I feel like this is something that's very accessible for anyone to come and just jump into.
Exactly. And there's, I mean, too less coding involved. It's just the JSON construct. If we leave that, there's not a single line of code involved over here. And you see, it's like if you are familiar with the MS bot framework and the Lewis intent analysis and all that, you would have to, train the model first and say that, okay, analyze these words, calculate the score, and then based on the intent score, provide this path to the bot and all that stuff. So here
Yeah,
it's just a simple branch that you're creating and adding actions on the go.
I love it. This is so cool. Man, Yash, this was a great introduction. I feel like this is a great way for people to dip their toe and kind of see the power of this. I'm assuming, do you have any other blog posts or videos about virtual agents? Have you done any other material? Is there anything I can link to in the description for people to check out?
Yeah, definitely. So I have created a blog post which follows kind of this same exact procedure, and
Okay.
you can check it at a more granular level. And then what I did is to complete the Power Platform, I created a PCF control for Canvas apps, and you could actually embed this bot into a Canvas app.
Excellent. Okay, so then Be sure to check the description for those links. I'll go ahead and put those there so you can check out how Yash took this to the next level. Yash, thanks so much, man, for joining me. This has been awesome.
Yeah, and you would want to then publish this bot over here, and then again, so there's a whole lot of series of things that you could do. You could
Okay.
embed this bot on a .NET application, maybe anywhere, as long as you can embed an iframe, HTML iframe tag somewhere.
So I could embed this in a website.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
So, for instance, my fiance has the sticker thing going on, and
Uh-huh.
not just the stickers, but now the T-shirt designs and logo designs. So, I could have a bot on her website that said, "Hey, how can I help you today?" And then it could give options. I want a T-shirt design, I want a sticker design, I want a logo design, and based on all that, the bot could then serve up different forms or different options for then they could pick their order, and it could all be automated. I wouldn't have to have separate forms. I could just create this to do all that.
Yeah, exactly. And it would kind of create all these order numbers and help them track their orders. And if all these information is stored on the website somewhere, it could be extracted on the bot, and it could be an interactive session that the visitors or customers could have.
Whoa. Okay. Well, I know what I'm going to be working on while I'm on vacation here.
Yeah, definitely. And just feel free to ping if you run into some issues.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate you a lot.
Okay.